absolutely kind of dominating this one outright for themselves, but to be going into map number 3 anytime soon. It's going to be Compound.
Yeah, Compound's going to be interesting. I think that both of these teams should have a lot of experience on this one, right? That has been around for quite a while. Rambo starting to go Rambo already, looking for an angle out there, but not going to find anyone.
Kimbum is going to be posted out towards A-Long once again. He really favors to play aggressive on the Global Rush side, but decides to fall back after popping off a smoke. And the rest of Vasco, as they have played this map thousands of times, is thinking about taking control of mid and maybe swing from there. Like I've mentioned before, any 4x4 maps, controlling mid gives you so much edge, so much ground to play with. As we do have the C4 rotating in towards middle, 2 players from Vasco taking on towards connector, down towards double pillars. But CaraHouse, kind of sensing this, is going to be holding it down towards the office area instead of pushing out towards the pillars.
Yeah, taking their time with this one is Vasco, just starting us off on this map. And I was taking a look at the stats. Vasco 5-0 from CFBL Season 1 here for 2024. And on the side of CaraHouse, 3-2. So a little bit of a favor over to the side of Vasco, you could say. They also didn't ban it a single time. And that 3-2 doesn't sound bad, but keep in mind that CaraHouse didn't really lose much in their region at all. Neither did Vasco, but the fact that 2 of their losses came on this map, I believe that is the most amount of losses on any map that they have experienced so far in 2024.
40 seconds onto the clock, and Vasco really now has to decide which bomb site they want to go towards. They're going to block off the connector down towards A and down towards B, so they can decide which other way they want to get through towards Silva, though. Pushing in towards double pillars with the rest of his team supporting. Christian down towards B. Silva opens up. Stola as Shady will find the refrag, but the position now being compromised as action swiftly gets the kill. Rambo, though, in the meantime, does find the frag onto MG, but they have given up the bomb site, now being planted and planted. 3-on-3. The timer against the side of CaraHouse.
It was a great push here from the side of Vasco. Just waiting until the end of it, you know, putting in a little bit of pressure from Silva from the pillars, and then you just run mid straight into B. And once you get this plant down, it is so difficult to retake on the site. Probably the most difficult of any map, of any site in the pool. And you see 11 seconds, he's just hiding behind a box. He's like, yeah, I'm just going to wait. And Rambo, insane flick, actually. But it's not really. Oh, he's going to hit the shot. But it doesn't matter, because in order to take the shot, you stop the defuse, and that is going to be a win over to the side of Vasco.
Vasco starts off in a nice manner, picking up the first round, going to Compound. Now moving to round number 2, can they continue to build up the momentum? As we're going to be looking at a very similar setup from both of these teams. CaraHouse sending 3 players down towards A, 2 players down towards B, but nobody really playing aggressive. Except Kimbum, we give him the free pass because he always plays aggressive from time to time. As Vasco Esports now moving the C4, inching closer down towards middle. Maybe they're thinking about doing the same thing again, or they could just start rushing in after they trade out Kimbum from the long A here. We'll have to wait and see, as last round the clock was ticked down all the way till like 30 seconds left, and we still have more than a minute left into this round.
Yeah, certainly taking their time with it. Again, we've seen both of these teams, you know, they try to mix with the tempo a little, you know, kind of like the Chinese teams do, but the difference is that the Chinese teams more often than not will just send it aggressively. They will get in there more often than any of these other teams, whereas, you know, generally I would say the Brazilian Vietnamese regions are also pretty aggressive, but they mix with the tempo. Sometimes they get very aggressive, and sometimes they just like to take their time, sit back,
relax,
wait, see if anyone's going to make a mistake. I said this on Cara. I think it's a good choice against CaraHouse, which is a team that oftentimes does get impatient, does look for very aggressive information plays. But CaraHouse, I feel like they've also read the situation over the course of the series, and they haven't really been doing that as often.
Kipling almost losing his life there to the AWM of MG. Gets the fallback without losing his life. In the meantime, the pushing is going to come down towards the B connector, but this could be a wraparound all the way towards A, as Action will find the quick frag onto Rainbow. Shady from the bomb side, though, is going to find the quick headshot back onto him. Now the push on the bomb side, Kipling holding it down, will find a kill. Goes for the pistol, and he does find it at the end of the day with the support of Lucas. A double kill for him as well, as CaraHouse catches up to a scoreboard of 1-on-1.
Yeah, very dominant performance on that round. CaraHouse, they read Action. They say, okay, this guy goes down, but the push on a B doesn't look the same, so they're ready for it on A. They have smokes down and long, and then we saw Vasco try to run in there and immediately just kind of get mowed down. And part of the reason why that happens is because CaraHouse see it coming. They're able to prepare for it, even if it is just a difference of 1 or 2 seconds. It can make all the difference in terms of preparation. As now, coming in from mid, trying to go into the spawn. Once again, and in towards B, actually. Shady behind this box, they did not expect that, and Dola's right there to protect him as well. Picks up a kill.
And now Silva in bomb site with MG kind of inching closer to support him, but the C4 is a dead, stuck rat in the bomb site. As MG gets knocked out by Dola, making things even worse for Silva. And the rest of CaraHouse rotates back in as Silva does find a quick headshot to Rambo through the smoke, but Dola will swing out, wrap Silva up, and that will be the second round being picked up by CaraHouse.
Yeah, absolutely. A very dominant performance last couple of rounds. I feel like CaraHouse are bringing the overall dominance that they have shown in this series here onto Compound, a map that Vasco should be very comfortable on, should be very confident on. So we'll have to wait and see if Vasco mix something up. You know, they tried to go a bit faster that time around, try to go mid-plaza straight into B, but just a very nice hold from a couple of the guys on CaraHouse. As once again, here we go, rotation, and this time they have a lot of info early on to CaraHouse, and the shots are going to ring true once again. Shady behind that box, and now he's coming out to challenge. Not quite going to work out for him, though, as MG gets 2, Silva gets 1. MG looking at challenge once again, picks up a second. And now Kimbum's like, man, I thought we knew they were coming. I thought we should have been able to hold that one.
Apparently the taps, the one taps from MG was right there on the right time to plow through the defense of CaraHouse. All alone, but Smokey does take out a bunch of HP. But Silva will read the tracers, and there we go. Silva will take a kill onto Kimbum, and now we're tied back to 2-on-2.
Yeah, 2-2. Vasco, they say, you know, I like the high tempo. Let's do it once again, but better this time. And certainly worked out better. I think, especially sometimes in FPS, if teams get reads that, okay, maybe we're not reading our opponent very well, but we still feel like we're the better team. Sometimes you can just kind of run at them and say, okay, let's hit our shots. Let's be really crisp. Let's be proactive in our plays instead of reactive to what CaraHouse are doing, especially from the Blacklist side. Kind of makes sense, right? So a couple of aggressive pushes from Vasco. Will they be able to follow up on it?
As an entry fragger, you don't I mean, it's better if you do find the entry frag, but even if you do die, as long as your teammates do find the refrag, then everything is good for your team on the Blacklist side. In the meantime, we're going to be looking at Vasco playing with the clock once again. So instead of a rather faster mid push, coming into round number 5, they're going to be gathering right outside of B here. As Fefe is going to line up those nades and smokes, they're going to be covering up the same angles once again. But if they do go for the B hit, this could be detrimental as we still have 2 more players on towards B with the support of Dola pushing out. That thing goes down to Shady, strong out, but Action on top of the watchtower is going to be able to find the kill back onto Shady to equalize things back down to 4-on-4. Less than a minute left onto the clock, and Dola, can he hold this aggression down?
It's a good question. It feels like he's got a decent idea that they're going to push into him, but as we can see, the rotation is coming out. But take a look at this. Rambo is going to go down. Very crisp shot from Action. At least Rambo says, okay, well, there's a guy over here in A room. That's a little funky. They might be pushing onto A. And Kimbum's going to be, he's going to have to be the first guy with contact. He's going to go down to Action as well. Another headshot coming in from Action. And that is a free A site.
Free A site indeed with 18 seconds remaining. The bomb is going to get planted. Dola and Lucas put to the clutch situation here. 2v4 with all angles being covered as we still have MG lurking down towards middle. Lucas made his run into the crosshair, but he does spot on MG. And he will find the kill onto Lucas, leaving Dola all alone.
Yeah, Dola, he was so clutch on the last map. He's a clutch player in general, but he can't really account for somebody flanking in there as well as action. He wants to up the tempo for himself. Already has 9 kills here in the 5 rounds we have played. And is certainly making a case for himself to pick up potential match MVP if he continues to have some big rounds like this. We'll have to wait and see who actually does pick up that award at the end of this match. Meanwhile, CaraHouse pushing out of pillars, looking for a pick here onto anyone on the side of Vasco. You see that Vasco have not pushed into pillars at all. Might be expecting some of this aggression.
Yeah, double pillars definitely not being contested, but Dola and Lucas pushed out pretty wide. The moment Vasco runs into the crosshairs, this is going to be a massacre. Like Dola puts 2 kills already on the board here. Action does find the kill onto Rainbow, but Shady is on the chase. Shady, does he realize there's another player to the side? That was Silva, but Silva will go down to the hands of Shady. Action all alone in a duel with Kimbum. Kimbum still a little better, will put more damage in towards Action, and Action is spot up by Dola at the end of the day, and it's going to be CaraHouse to tie things back up once again, 3-3, and these teams are going toe-to-toe.
Yeah, it's kind of insane how closely matched these two teams are at this point in time. Some sick shots rather, being hit by both sides by a lot of the different players. Just really nice aggressive peek from Rambo on the last one, and gets some big value there. Gets the team ahead, and sometimes you can't account for that. You know, it's just one of the things that makes FPS great, that makes Crossfire great. Is that sometimes one player can just have a big day, and all of a sudden, you know, all the strategy goes out the window. Dola here.
He's going to go for the Madman spray down, not quite hitting, as Fefe's just going to crouch peek and take him out from the lobby. And down 4v5. Shady is going to be a solo player holding this one down. As Vasco, what do they want to do? Instead of running in, they're going to actually play this one out smart and fall back right away after picking off Dola. So all of a sudden, Vasco resets back to ground 0, as CaraHouse now has to adapt to the situation where they did lose a player down to a 4-player team and have to go for either 2-2 split or gonna have to leave one side pretty vulnerable, as B now has only Shady holding this one down. But CaraHouse, they did invest 3 players down towards A, and if Vasco decides to run into that, that could be a disaster for Vasco.
Yeah, Kimbum's got the jump peek going on here in the corner at A long, so would get initial information. Lucas, meanwhile, he's the one that's kind of blind checking out of the door. Rambo also having a great angle on this, and Vasco are just, they're not going to throw any utility. They will get punished for it, but MG does get the entry kill, and so will VNC jumping in and taking down 2. Shady, they know which angle he's in, and they know where he is now. And that's the spawn. He will be able to pick up 1. He's got to go 1v3 here. Flashes, grenades being thrown in his face. You see he's already taken a bunch of damage from that nade as well. And probably knows where VNC is, but he's just going to be shot down by MG, who has a huge round and brings Vasco into the lead.
4 on 3. 2 rounds remaining on the first half as Vasco trying to run away from CaraHouse. And the winner of this map will win the series. The round score is now, the map score is tied to 1-1. This time around, CaraHouse playing pretty darn aggressive is going to send 3 players out towards pillars, down towards connector. This could be detrimental as Rambo does find the kill onto Action towards middle, and all of a sudden, Vasco realizing that CaraHouse is playing quite aggressive is going to try to sense and send MG in for the kill, but waiting with open arms is going to be Dola. The Madman spray down, Rambo style, is going to take down MG. And Silva now, to the test here, will have to fall back after recovering the C4 because the rest of his team is nowhere near him right now.
Yeah, they wanted blood. They wanted more chase down. Rambo also getting the pick on the VNC. It's looking like we're going to be tied up again. 4 rounds to 4 if it keeps going this way. Unless somebody on the side of Vasco wants to go insane. Fefe going to be seen jumping off the stairs. And right now, Dola's getting aggressive behind them. They're probably not going to expect this. Silva trying to carry this one in. Picks up an arm for himself. Meanwhile, here's Dola. Free kill onto him. Gets the bomb down. And he might have a good idea where Fefe is.
They both find the kill, but Dola swings out once again. Gets the refrag, and like you've said, Malda's retired back at 4-on-4.
Yeah, it's just a really close map here. I think that, you know, the stats from each region can tell a certain story and say, okay, maybe Vasco's slightly favored, but it doesn't matter, you know, these are two teams from very different regions. They play the maps out entirely differently. And take a look at this. Now they're just passing each other in the night. We see Vasco going through the pillars towards B. Meanwhile, everybody on the side of CaraHouse is streaming down into the blacklist spawn, essentially. This is going to be a free plant on B here for Vasco.
So once the bomb gets planted, the change of sides will happen. It's going to be Vasco on the defense and CaraHouse on the offense. The bomb now being planted against the clock is going to be CaraHouse, realizing what they have done. The mistakes has to be solved, but at the end of the day, we're going to be going into post-plant. 30 seconds and ticking. The pillars being held down by Action and MG. 3 players are going to be running in. MG will start opening things up. Long shot. Action will find one, make it a double for this guy. And all of a sudden, down to Rambo and Kimbum. Kimbum goes down. Rambo 1v5 in 12 seconds. Nothing much he can do is going to be waiting outside the smoke, as that even obscures his vision. And it looks like Vasco is going to secure the last round of the first half. It's going to be 5-on-4.
Yeah, 5-4 here. Vasco taking the lead. And you see that Rambo didn't even bother. He knew. I mean, there was just no chance, right? Even in the 2v5, like, that was not going to happen unless you had some really insane shots. So Vasco, very nicely done. 5-4. This is the 5th time out of 6 maps that we have ended the first half 5-4. So already some really close crossfire being played. Some really nice matchups that we've had here between these teams at the CFSI. Just very closely matched, as we can tell.
Yeah, all of the contenders of the Invitational more than dedicated to put their performance to top. And for now, Vasco Esports versus CaraHouse. Vasco Esports seems to have gained a little bit more edge against CaraHouse, as they were able to pick up that last round, finishing the first half in 5-on-4. Now, switching sides, Vasco on the defense and CaraHouse on the offense. Starting off as Blacklist. They're going to be lingering down towards middle as well, as we do have Action kind of holding down towards middle. We've seen him do this from time to time, where he doesn't hold it from connectors, but rather he would push out a little bit closer towards the boxes and find a wonky corner that players cannot expect all that often.
Yeah, he's definitely very good at playing alone, you know, lurking, finding off angles, as you mentioned. And now he's going to reposition, actually, to outside of B. Throw in, looks like into the tower. Meanwhile, MG, nice angle there on Adola. And a fantastic early pick here for the side of Vasco.
CaraHouse is going to send this one down, but Action all across the smoke is going to take down Lucas. Kimbum did a right for support, but now down 3-on-4 to C4. That's stuck down towards middle. Every single bomb site, both of them are held down by 2 players. Where do CaraHouse want to go? Rambo to go down to Fefe, and all of a sudden, Shady and Kimbum dead stuck in towards the spawn area. Nate from VNC is going to do the dirty work. Kimbum goes down, and Shady gets spotted out by MG as well. And 1v4 in a dream. Does have the C4 to, you know, pacify him a little bit more, but at the end of the day, Shady will have to pull off an insane clutch. Starting of it is going to be him taking down VNC. 1v3, 20 seconds. He does get spotted out by MG. Oh, he crossed paths, and he might just had enough time to get the bomb planted. Vasco, all of a sudden, in a 1v3, 3v1, but the timer against him. If Shady pulls this clutch off, 17 bullets and a dream. It's not going to happen, as MG with the pistol will casually tap him out, and the defuse is going to come through, and Vasco Esports are going to start leading out 6-4.
Yeah, that's a good look from Vasco. You know, they get that early pick, and then they just lock things down. Yes, action gets traded back, but you see that down a member, CaraHouse, they didn't want to push on a B, and there were some long sight lines that Vasco was holding down really well from that site, so they kind of just get stuck in spawn and slowly chipped away at. So Vasco, their GR side of compound, excellent as always. And now CaraHouse gonna be kind of left scratching their heads. I do wonder which angle they are going to take here. And it looks like maybe mid. Action once again going to be tasked with holding this down, but he should get some utility in his face first.
I mean, he didn't get caught using this off angle last round, so this might just work out this time around, as Action does use the smoke of CaraHouse to fall back safely. In the meantime, the rest of CaraHouse is going to be sending it down towards the B connector. Silva and then they test here. Silva does go down to Dolo, and pushing double pillars is going to be Rambo. He's going to have to face off Fefe, who's holding down the bomb, is now all the way into the bomb site. It will soon get planted. The rest of Vasco is going to rotate in, but it's going to be held down by Shady. Dolo gets picked up by Action. Action trying to scout out towards middle, not realizing Shady is right behind him in the smoke, hiding, crouching. Fefe does go down to Rainbow, and the bomb is now going to get planted.
Yeah, and this is the, again, really difficult position where you're trying to retake B. Action has a nice angle from pillars, but Rambo, oh, there it is once again, the flick headshot from Action. He just keeps doing this, and now that gives them a chance here. MG gonna get a pick with that sniper, a pretty aggressive peek from the side of CaraHouse. Lucas having to hold down in servers. He picks up one. Kimbum getting the other guy as well. And now MG has it all to do. It's not going to be easy for him. He doesn't have any pistol bullets left, and they are just chipping away at him as well. He does get the one headshot, but there's just not enough time to go for the defuse. He will take down the two members. He has that prideful victory, but he will not have the victory in the round, as that one will go to CaraHouse.
CaraHouse slowly catching up, one by one. It's going to be 6-5. Still in favor for Vasco. MG getting the kills left and right, but the timer was definitely and absolutely against them. And now CaraHouse maybe thinking about pushing into A fast, only so fast, but it's going to be slowed down. With the smoke being thrown out by VNC down towards long. The pop flash here is the go sign. They're going to clear out long A, as VNC is going to do the shoulder jump peek to spot out any players coming through.
Yep, there it is. Gets the spot. Should have seen more than one based on the way they were flooding in there. And CaraHouse don't seem to care. They say, okay, yep, you saw us. That's cool. We might still push on in here. Let's see, though. I mean, we've seen teams try to push up to this doorway, you know, throw in some utility, and then still decide to back away. But it's going to depend on if Rambo and Shady gear up for a push through mid at the same time, because certainly is going to be needed.
MG's going to spin off the long connector, but the split push is now coming from Shady and Rambo through the middle. Have to figure out if they're going to be able to break the or not. MG on top of Vents does find a kill with the support of Action, finding two of his own, leaving Rambo all alone to the clutch. But the nade is also pick the help, but nade wasn't even needed, as Fefe will just gun him down casually. As now Vasco starts to run away with 2 rounds advancements, 7-5 on the scoreboard.
Yeah, the issue with committing to that, again, is that Vasco, they just had all the information, and Vasco is so good, especially from the GR side, of getting that information and then knowing exactly how to use it. They had a triple stack in mid, and they said, okay, you're going to support your A-long push with a mid push. That's pretty standard, right? And they're ready for it, and CaraHouse are like, yeah, we're going to do it. And all that it means is that Vasco is just very ready for it. They hit their shots. Take a look at MG sitting on 12-2, as he just hasn't really died at all on this map. Apparently, some really insane stats for him, sitting on 6 KD at the moment. And I mean, he had a really nice blacklist side, but also now here on the GR side, it's looking even better.
Definitely looking even better for him, as now he's providing for his team. But in the meantime, minute 30 left onto the clock, and CaraHouse willing to hit towards B will have the C4 and the rest of the teammates in towards pillars, but will be smoked off by one of the players by Vasco. Fefe and Silva has a nice little crossfire setup, even if the pop flasher is crossfire down. I think that's fine one. Not good for two as the bomb site now being compromised. As Luis did send himself all the way down to the bomb site. Action trying to bring this one down. Yes, he came through. MG finds a kill of his own as well, leaving Shady all alone. C4 held down by Shady. The nade even taking away more health from him. 25 health on the Dream, 1v3 and 46 seconds remaining onto the clock. Action could be spotted out here. VNC could be spotted out here. Shady goes for the hot shots, but it's not going to connect as Action will take the kill and secure the round for Vasco.
Yeah, Vasco really rolling now. They have so much momentum behind them, and it just feels like even though the entry got into B, there was no plant. And I love the way that Vasco handled it after the fact, right? They got in onto the B site before CaraHouse could set up. Because if CaraHouse set up and you've got smokes in the door and everybody's holding every which angle, then of course it's impossible to retake. It's really, really difficult. But if as they're coming in, you get in there as well, you get aggressive and you hit your shots, then you're able to stop them before they can set anything up. So fantastically done by the side of Vasco. And now they're only 2 rounds away from taking this first map.
Vasco coming into the second half does read CaraHouse like a book, and CaraHouse definitely needs to switch up their gears a little bit if they want to start winning the rounds. But this time around, Vasco, they are pushed out all the way towards A long to hold this one down. MG holding onto a slight angle, is going to whip the shot. That allows BSC to swing out. MG with the second shot as well. Now he's taken out, and A bomb site now held down by Action all alone, as the rest of CaraHouse readjusts to back out towards middle. And the smart play costs 2 lives onto the side of Vasco.
Yeah, it's very aggressive Action. He wants the info. He needs to take the risk, and unfortunately that means he's going to go down as well. And you can't blame him. I mean, he's just trying to see, okay, did they rotate out? Is anybody still here? Can I catch them off guard with an aggressive play from behind to get us back in? The answer to all those questions were no. They did not rotate, and they were still there, and they just gunned him down in a beautiful crossfire. So now we do have this A site totally taken. We've got Fefe against the world, and he's got to kill everybody by himself and clutch this round. 1v4 now, at least, and he is running the opposite way. You know, as the IGL, maybe he's just going to take a little time to talk to his team about the next future rounds.
Yeah, I mean, might as well as utilize this time to, you know, figure out what to do next rather than just going in and dying. The round is already over anyways, so, you know, using those 40 seconds to yourself is probably a better choice and definitely the right choice to be done. So the round.
Rambo wants the kill.
Yeah, Rambo's going for the kill. Oh, he does get it at the end of the day, but the rounds are going to be 8-6. CaraHouse is going to start catching up to that of Vasco Esports.
Yeah, so they had a little powwow, you know, a little back and forth talking about what they're going to do in this round, I suppose. At the end of the day, he still gets shot down, but that's Fefe's job, right, to say, okay, guys, we're going to calm down here. We're going to get back to what's working. I mean, it is only the 1 round, but as we were talking about, it was basically a done deal on that last round, so no point in even trying to send it. So they're going to go and have MG cover long A. Push coming in through mid, and now the stack in mid here from the side of Vasco doesn't quite work out as well this time, as Action also going to be shot down from Kimbum, who does back up the team excellently.
Gunned down by Silva, who was flanking from behind, and MG. Mom's going to be very, very quick to gun down Dola, and now with the pistol, trying to fight down Kimbum. He does have the support from Silva coming through his way anytime soon, but Kimbum decides to fall back and go in closer towards the A bomb, so get the bomb planted once he clears everything out. Or more so, he probably has the information that Silva was out towards B long, so bomb site may have been cleaned up, but MG casually swapping to an AK, will gun him down quick, and now they have picked up the match point and the map point.
It was pretty close there in mid, that fight that we had, but I still like the call from Vasco to try to set up there defensively and fight CaraHouse. It eventually does get them the win with some helpful clutching from the side of MG, as always. That is essentially the calling card for this team. So now on match point is Vasco Esports. Just 1 round away from taking their first match.
CaraHouse at risk, and at risk is going to be this push as Buffet is going to be moving this one down. And PNC finds the double, actually swings out, gets a double of his own, leaving Shady all alone. Shady versus MG. MG does move the arm shot, goes for the pistol. The last bullet not quite there, but the rest of Vasco is going to be rotating in action from the backside, is going to try to toss out the lane. Silva on top of Vents is going to wrap it up. 10-6 for Vasco Esports, and so is the round and the map. 2-1. Vasco Esports will take down CaraHouse in a tough fight.
Yeah, shout out to Vasco Esports. They did an excellent job of winning that up against CaraHouse. CaraHouse, I mean, those